Hello guys, how are you? Good afternoon. Well, in today's video, we're gonna solve the leetcode problem number 20, which is valid parentheses. So the problem says, given a string S containing just characters, well, as you can see those characters, determine if the input string is valid. An input string is valid if open brackets must be closed by the same type of brackets. Two, open brackets must be closed in the correct order, and every closed bracket has a corresponding open bracket at the same time. Okay, here we have the samples. I guess that those samples are really, really easy because I already have done this first, but when I've solved these three cases, I had a lot of problems with the submissions, as you can see here. So it took me a while to solve this problem, but I guess that it's really interesting how we can implement a stack in order to solve this problem. I guess that something that I like about it is that I have seen many medium problems which has like the same pattern. So for that reason, I want to solve for this because there is a problem called the code string, and there you have like to do the same because we're checking parentheses, and there are many problems which involve this. Sorry. So we're going to start. I would like to use another example. I think that I'm going to be using this example. I hope that you got it and that you like it, and it's going to be this input. For example, what if I set this input, or what if I put this input, or what will happen if I set this? So as you can see, at first sight, what we have to do is that we have to see if those values exist, because it's really like, there is a problem called the code string, which I've mentioned before. There you have only to compare parentheses. So when you're comparing parentheses, that's something easy. But here we have three different parentheses. Well, in the coding string, what we have to check is those ones. So those ones are the ones that are related to the coding string. But in a minute or in a later video, we're going to be solving that video. So in this case, we have three different types. And with these three different types, what we have to do, it's like to be checking and knowing what do we want to do. So, okay, for this, my first solution was thinking about a hash map. In that hash map, I'm gonna be initializing with the key value, but with the parentheses that I got there. So what I'm going to start doing is that I'm gonna be putting first the closing parentheses and later the open parentheses. Why? Because I guess that this is something easy, because remember that the stack is a type of that structure that is last in, first out. So I want to be popping all of those elements, last in, first out. So for that reason, I guess that it's more easy checking what is the last element. So for that reason, I'm checking the closing parentheses, and later we're gonna put all the logic. So we're gonna be starting with this, later with this one, and later with this one. Okay. So sorry. The next chapter, it's going to be this one, which is the bracket. And later we're gonna have this bracket. So okay, so I have all these three. And once that I have these three, let's start doing a for loop. But I would like that you see what I'm trying to do in a way that it's like more visual, because I'm a very visual person. So what do we have here? It's that we have this bracket, later we have this, and later we have this. So what we want to do is we want to set this in the stack. I'm going to be calling S. And here in my stack, I'm going to be adding those elements, which is going to be this one, later this one, and later this one. But as you can see, the next element, it's going to be the closing parentheses. But how I'm going to be checking this value? I want to check this value if it's equal to this one. So if those values correspond, because for that reason, I'm doing this, because I want to check if this value is equal to this value so that I can solve the problem. So what I'm going to be doing is that I'm going to be checking the last element that I'm having in my stack. And if it doesn't exist, I'm going to be adding it to my stack. So I just, in a few minutes ago, I solved this problem. So I strongly hope that I didn't forget the answer, but let's start coding. So as you can see, that this is like the main constraint. And once that I have done this comparison, what I want to do is that, okay, I have done this, so I wanted to pop this element and I want to check the other element, which is going to be this one. So, okay, I'm going to be checking the other element. And once I check this comparison, I want to pop it. But for example, if this element and the closing parenthesis is this, so what I wanted to do, this is not equal. So as those elements are not equal, what I want to return, it's a false. I'm going to be clear with an F. Sorry if it looks like a function, but it's false. So that's the main thing that I want to do right now. So, okay, I'm going to be start coding that. I hope that you got the main idea of what I'm trying to do in the next code. So I'm going to be deleting this. Just give me a second. Okay, I have already done it. So here we have our hash map, and where we have a function. So now I'm gonna be defining a for loop, or you can use a while loop, whatever you want. I guess that a really good exercise that you can do is trying to do this code with a while loop and see how the logic changed. But I don't think that it changed a lot, because we just have to be initializing a value and adding or subtracting according to what you wanted to do. So in this, I'm going to be defining for E in range of, no, for E in S, because I want to compare the characters. Okay, so for E in range, I'm going to be starting from this first element. So what I wanted to do, if E, which is going to be E, I'm going to be saying that E, it's going to be this first element. Okay, if E is in hash map, what do we want it to do? Okay, let me ask you a question. Is that open bracket in our hash map? Let's see. Okay, it isn't. So as it doesn't exist, we want to do an else condition. Okay, so our else condition will be the next one. Okay, as it is not there, what we wanted to do is we want to add it to our stack. So stack.append, and I'm going to be adding E. Okay, so I'm going to be defining stack here, and it's going to be this one. So we already have defined our stack. So as our stack, it's not there. Okay, that's like the main problem. So we are adding that value. So I'm going to be doing that. So that element is right now there. Later, our second element is not right now there. And our third element is going to be this bracket. So we have those three elements. And what's going to be the fourth element? Oh, the fourth element is this bracket. And this bracket is in our hash map? Let's see. Okay, yeah, it is. So it is true. So what do we want to do? We want to check if the last element in our stack, which is this one, it's equal to, well, it's equal to the closing, well, it corresponds to its closing paragraph, which is something that we have here that we already defined. So, okay, now let's see, if a stack, it means that if our stack has elements, because that was a book that I was having, what will happen if our stack doesn't have any elements. So if our stack has elements and a stack, in this case, the last element is equal to what? Is equal to hash map, and our key is gonna be E. So E is gonna be our key. In this case is this one. And what is its value? Its value has to be this one. So I'm gonna be checking if a stack and the last element of the stack is equal to, or of the element of the hash map, what we want to return. Okay, we want to take it. We want to disappear the last element, which means that we're going to be popping that element because we don't want it anymore. Because we know that it's the same. So I'm gonna be popping, which is stack.pop. That element is goodbye, goodbye element. But what will happen if our element, let's say that instead of this, uh, let's say that instead of this is this one, another type of bracket. So, okay, it is not the same. What do we want to do? Okay, in this case, what we want to do is that here, actually, we want to return a false because it is not the same. And it is as it is not the same, we want to say our code, hey, here's a problem, here's a book. Well, there's not a book, sorry. Here's a problem, it's not the same. So we want to break the the loop. Okay, so we want to return false. Okay, but let's imagine that in this case it is correct. So we're gonna be popping and let's say goodbye. Goodbye element, you no longer exist. So what will be our next element? Our next element, it's going to be, oh, let me see. Okay, it's going to be this one. Okay, now, does this element exist in, let's see, does this element exist in our hash map? Yeah, it does. So stack, so our stack has elements, or stack -1 has elements. So hash map, let's see, this is the key. So key value is equal to this. Yeah, it is equal. So I'm gonna be popping the next element. So the last element in the for loop is gonna be this one. This one is in hash map. Yeah, it is in our hash. So this element is in our hash map. Yeah, it is in our hash map. So stack and stack -1 is equal to hash map. So let's see, stack exists. Yeah, we have elements in our stack. Stack -1, the last element is this, is equal to hash map. So let's see if this is the key. This is its value. Oh yeah, it's equal. Okay, so it's true. So I'm gonna be popping. So, oh, okay, we already done this. So what we want to do, we want to return. What we want to return? We want to return true. But what will happen if we have a bug? For example, let's say that we only have open braces. Okay, so what we wanted to do here is return true if our stack is empty, if a stack is empty. So let me remember how is the syntax for the return in an if condition. Okay, return true. Okay, return true. If not a stack, it means that there is no element in our stack. Else, if there is elements in our stack. So let me remember. Okay, I guess that I have already done this. So let's run our code. Okay, we have a bug, invalid syntax. Let's see if E is in hash map. Oh, sorry. If E in hash map. Okay, it's true. Let's submit. Yeah, and it works. So as you know, we can solve this problem in this way. And I hope that you got the general idea. So thank you.